Hi everyone, we're going to look at simple gatefold cards and beyond, and I will show you how complicated you can go at the end. So one of the problems that people have when they make gatefold cards is to make these meet in the middle. So we're going to have a look at that. When we look at a scoreboard, these lines are 1/8 of an inch wide. So if your bend goes one side or the other of this, you can be 1/4 of an inch out. So the easy way around this is we're going to take this here, and it's not 30 centimetres, right? It's 29 and 7 millimetres. So what I do, instead of trying to work it out, I slide my ruler so that I've got a couple of millimetres that side, a couple of millimetres that side, and I can then go for the 15 mark. Okay, so let your ruler hang over a little bit that side, the same that side, and then we're going for the 15 there. That is going to be my centrepiece. So I'm going to line that up and mark at the bottom as well. Now, if we're working on 15, we're going to work on 7.5 to fold in on this particular card. So what I've got now is I've got a, it's about a 2 or 3 millimetre ball on one end, and this is about a 1.5 millimetre on this end. So I'm going to take the bigger end, have that on my scoreboard, and I'm coming down the 7.5, and I'm flipping this over, and then I'm coming down with the smaller one. The reason being, if I went with the smaller one, the chances of my pushing the tool through are quite high. So I'm bending the paper card slightly, then I'm coming down with the narrower ball tool. So what we can do now is put the scoreboard off to one side, and we're going to bend this, but I want to bend it so it comes to there. If I can show you on here, I am a little bit short of my mark, so I'm going to just pull it put my thumb on the outside, and with my bone folder I'm going to force it down the middle, and if I can come up close now, you'll see I'm virtually on my line. So I'm going to take this one now, fold it. It's a very stiff card, but I'm going to butt it up here so I have no gap. And then I'm going to close down, and I'm forcing that fold exactly where I wanted it. Okay, so there is the basic gatefold, and I'm using double-sided card for this particular one, and I've got a pattern inside, and I'm using this instead of having to do too many mats on here. So this is 7.5 centimetres, my centre panel is 6.5, and I have a little mat around it. Here's some I prepared earlier. And I'm placing that on there. And we're going for the second panel. And there we go. So I now have my 2 panels. Now this is just a demonstration piece. So what I'm going to do now is to put just a little bit of glue on my decoupage. Tiny bit needs to come. Right. Difficult to know on this one which way is up the right way. It could go easily either way. I'm going to put one up one way and one up the other way. There we go. So there we have a very simple gatefold card with everything toning in together. So we're going to put that to one side for the moment because we're going to get a lot more complicated. Here we have exactly the same gatefold card. Inside I've got a pale pink, and this one I have put a decorative oval die cut on the front, die cut here, and if you have a look I have got a magnet there and a magnet there. Okay, so that one just closes with magnetic closure, but you don't really need that, it will hold itself. Right, now we're going to take a look at this one. So again, this is a normal gatefold card, but when we open it, instead of putting extra panels down here, I have put 3 panels which are, I believe they were 5 centimetre wide panels with a mat around them, and I've staggered them, so this one fixes to this side, this one fixes to that side, and we're back to this side. And an added bit of interest, I have split my verse, one bit here, one bit here, and when you open the card you've got the verse finished in the middle. So that is a lovely card, and that is all the decoration I've got on it. So you can see that you can make a lovely card from just a tiny little decoration there. Right, now we're going to look at a staggered gatefold. Again, we're using the A4, which is slightly less than 30 centimetres, half 15-ish, but the front panels have to add up to 15. So I can show you what I mean on here. This one is an A4 sheet folded, and I've put 5 centimetres on this side and 10 centimetres on this side. Total adds up to the 15, but you can see it's still a gatefold, okay, but they're uneven. Okay, so you can make them exactly what you wish. If we bring in this sample, which I haven't decorated yet, again it was double-sided card, and this one I have made 6 centimetres and 9. So slightly different here. I've got an extra bit on this side, not so much on this side. So it is entirely up to you how you decorate these, but it doesn't have to be equal sides. Okay, so this is testing to see what the sound levels are like. Right, now we're going to have a look at another gatefold card, and this one I've spent a fair amount of time on, but this one opens and it's an aperture gatefold. So we've now done a circle in the middle. The bit that dropped out of here I have used as this backing here, and I've got a nice motif on here. But it's a little bit more complicated, but it shows you a different way of using your dies. So I'm trying to keep that to one side up there. We're bringing in a 6x6 card, and I've already done my gatefold. So we're going to reinforce that. So we're folding one side, bring the other one to match it exactly, and score down through, so burnish down through. So we've got perfectly meeting centerpiece. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to do a die cut, and I used a circle for this one. I'm going to show you how to do it with a square. So you want a square that is going to fit roughly your piece and give you still a nice border all the way round. Okay, so your die here is facing upwards. All right, normally you would put it facing down. This time we are going to open our card and we're going to put the die facing upwards. Now if you look at a lot of square dies, they've got this little notch, so that helps you position it brilliantly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to mark down roughly where my centre is. Okay, I can put a piece in or I can rub that out. So I'm matching my notches and a little bit of tape to hold it in place. Then you're going to close this over and put that through your die cutting machine. Okay, when you've got that, you will have a piece like this. Okay, so there's the square die cut out from the top piece of the card, and I've already put double-sided tape all the way round so that we can put on a pretty paper on the front. So I have chosen this one here, and I've used the same die to just cut out normally, but I've given myself plenty of border all the way round. So this one's got writing on, so I need to make sure it's the right way up. And I'm going to take off one section of my double-sided adhesive, and I'm lining up extremely carefully because it's the same die. Line it up, and then I can get my fingers in and remove the rest of the tape. You need to leave it so that it's overhanging a fair way. Right, now I can come to this side and I can remove the rest of the tape from this side because I've got it totally lined up. I know that this is going to go down in the right place. Go, 2 more pieces. Right. So we're now going to fold that down and we're going to flip it over, and I can take my ruler and my knife and I can cut off any excess that is hanging over. It's just gone on the floor. Right, last one. There. When I turn it over, I've now got the card completely covered to begin with, but we've sealed the opening up. So what I'm going to do now is I take a piece of scrap card, I slide it under, and I can just put my knife in and just cut the last bit through. Okay, just give it a little press and you can soon see exactly where the opening should be. There we go. So now if you wanted to, you could put a piece in behind. So that would be about 14.5 centimetres square. So if I go to there, there, open it out, and a couple of strips of double-sided. Two. And we're going to place this inside to give a contrast. Make sure that you clear the creases at the side. There, so we've got that one, and this is my piece that I'm going to put inside. There we go. So there we have an aperture gatefold, which is a square, and here we have a circle aperture gatefold, and you can spend some time putting peel off corners, edges all the way round, and you could even put on a staggered greeting that actually holds that closed, and when you open it, it will stick out. So that is another pretty way of doing a gatefold. Okay. Lastly, I'm going to show you the most difficult gatefold, and you might say, well, how on earth does that stand up? All right, but it's a more complicated one because we open up and it's a double gatefold, and it will just stand up like that, and if I can just tip it, it will be displayed like that. Okay, so let's take a look at how we achieve that. Okay, so we're going to do this step by step, and it's not quite as complicated as it looks, but it does take a few steps to do. So let's take a look at what we've got first, and we've got, first of all, this is a basic gatefold card. Okay, so we're going to take double-sided card to do it because you don't want to see me doing all these panels. Okay, so the first thing we do is we score at 7.5 there, and 7.5 there. This is thick card, so we're being very careful how we bend it, and I'm going to have the pink on the inside, so I'm going to fold that there, turn it over, and I need to make sure this is going to meet, and then I'm going to force it to go down flat, so we have a nice card that meets in the middle. Okay, so that was one piece of A4 card made into your card. That is going to stand like that. Okay. Let's go back to this piece, and we're going to do these side wings now. The fly is trying to bite me, and I want one piece that is going to go across the back, one piece that is going to do these two sides, and that is all coming from another piece of A4. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my piece for the background. So that is 14, just under half, and this, I'm going to take a fraction off the width. There we go. So bringing my card back in, and this will, when I'm ready, go on the backing. Okay, so I'm going to put that to one side for the moment. This piece here is going to make my side pieces. Now it's a little bit long, so I'm going to put a mark there, and I'm going to cut off the excess. Go. Now this is the nice bit. Because this is 7.5, we want to make the portion that goes on the side 7.5. So take your scoreboard, and you're going to score 7.5, reinforce it, turn it, score 7.5, reinforce it, and the nice bit now, you get your scissors, if you can see, my 2 score lines, and you're going to just chop. Isn't that nice? So I'm going to fold these over, burnish them down. Doesn't matter which side unless you've got a directional card. And I'm going to now put double-sided tape on these flanges here. And I want my tape nice and tight to that crease, so it's going to be firm. There we go. And I'm going to put the next one on. Don't forget we're working with the dark pink inside. So I'm folding that in, and I'm putting this onto the edge there. Make sure it's clearing your creases and press down. There is my side piece. I'm going to turn this one round, line it up and press down, and I make sure that these are not interfering with it closing. There is my basic double fold. Okay. Open it out, because now we want to cover these side pieces. So I'm going to take the piece we cut from almost half of an A4. We just made it slightly smaller, and I'm going to place that inside, and again make sure it folds nicely. Right, you can add panels, decorative panels all the way round, like this one. So I've got nice silver grey there. So you can do individual panels, but for the demo, alright, I've got double-sided. Now, what I'm going to do is a similar sort of display. So I have my Art Deco piece here ready. I'm going to show you a bit of magic in a minute with a die cut. So I'm going to line that up, always checking that you're not interfering with the folds. Okay. I have a border here, which I'm going to add. I'll have the gold at the bottom, I think. There we go. And I've got a piece here that says "Celebrate Your Day." There we have "Celebrate Your Day." Now I want to show you the lady that goes inside. So when we look inside, we've got this lady and she's got a nice edge, an edge at the bottom, a flat edge. So that's fine for inside. So we're going to take a lady. These are Debbie Moore designs. So she's got a straight edge, so I'm going to put her straight along the bottom. Isn't she beautiful? Right, okay, so there is the inside of my card. coming on. Put the side pieces in, fold those pieces, and we're ready. I can see a little bit of white there, so I'm going to just trim. That was from my slight overhang from the border. There we go. Now we're going to look at this piece here. What I've done, if we take a look at my lady here, can you see that I have put a, what'll sit, an oval die cut. Let me go and quickly get it. So there was my oval die cut, and what I've done is I've placed it onto there to just round the bottom of my lady off. Okay, I've used the same oval to cut out a piece of white. So that's the same one. So when I take my lady now and remove the tape, the curve that I've cut on the bottom of the lady is exactly matching the curve on here. So there she is. Beautiful lady there. So I got a little bit of card there. Right, so there is my lady. And I've taken the neck size up in my oval. And she is going to go onto there. Okay. So she is now mounted onto there. I've got her slightly skew, but it still looks attractive. So I'm going to make sure that my card is up the right way, and she is going to fit on, and I'm going to put, I was going to say glue on the top half. There we go. So I'm folding my card up, and my lovely lady is going onto the front there. So I have also wishing you a happy birthday. So I'm now going to just put that down there. There we go. So that is how your card would be sent, and when the person who receives it opens it up, then that is what they will see, and when it's displayed, it is just displayed. If I can show you that, it's displayed, and that is what they will see when they've got it. So let's come back to this one as well. This one has all the panels put in. So fold in, and there we have the two cards. So this one is a lot heavier. This one was a lot less work, but equally beautiful. So there is double gatefold, aperture gatefold, staggered gatefold, so different panels. This one with the alternate flaps. A magnetic close on this one with a die cut panel. And our simple gatefold. Lovely cards, and I can't wait to see what you have a go at. But whatever you do, enjoy. God bless.